In this video, we are going to discuss how we can perform update and the delete CRUD operations on the collections. So we'll start with the update. So in order to update, there is a method which is called update available to us. Now, the first step to perform an update is to find some information about the record that you are going to update. For example, let's say we want to first find a record with the name Tamanna, and then we got the result. In order to update, let's say, this record, what you need to do, you need to specify the criteria based on which you are going to find the record and then set some or update some fields in that record. So ideally, if you want to update only one record, you should try to find that record based on its ID, because ID is unique. Or you can use any additional field if you know that that field is unique, and you will be able to directly pinpoint that record. For example, if you want to update, let's say, the group of Tamanna, what we are going to do, we are going to specify db.students.update, and then the first parameter is the criteria based on which we are going to find this record, and we say here underscore id colon object id and the id of the record or the document of Tamanna, and then the next parameter is the object in which we specify the items that needs to be updated. So we should have this field or attribute $set, which indicates the query that this is the group or this is the field that needs to be updated, and in that we say group 2, and if when we execute this, the group of this original record will be updated. Of course, you can change it based on other fields. For example, if you want to, let's say, change it based on the name, you can just specify update and in the criteria name Tamanna, and then set group 3 back to 3, and this way you can set it based on any number of criterias. You can add additional criterias also, like what you did in the find. So the concept of criteria is still the same. But let's say if you want to update multiple fields, what you need to do is you need to specifically tell that I want to update all the records which fulfill this criteria. Otherwise, what MongoDB will do is only update the first document that will be that will fulfill the criteria. Let's say we want to change the program, all the record with the program ISC to the program ISE. We just need to replace the text of the program. We want to remove CE. So what we need to do is we need to provide a third option with the value and key value multi true. With this, all the records will be updated which fulfill the criteria of ISC CE. Their program will be updated to ISC. And so there is another option. Let's assume you try to find or you specified a criteria, but there is no record that fulfilled that criteria. So what should be done? So there is an option available which is called upsert. It's a kind of two-step process: either update, if not insert. So this is called upsert true. Let's say we want to update the group of record with the specific ID. So we try to find underscore ID, some ID, and then set the group 4. And then as a third option, we can also apply set upsert true. And then what it will do is it will first try to find this document with the ID 5cc, this ID. If that object or if that document is found, then its group will be updated. Also, you have to keep in mind that, for example, using this set, you can also add new attribute. Let's say if the document does not contain a group field, then what this will do is in that document it will add this attribute field group 4. For this, in order to add an attribute or add a field to an existing document, you don't need upsert. It will also be done using the simple update, but this is one option. This is one thing that you need to keep in mind, that if the field is not there, it will be added, but if the field is there, then it will be updated. But in this case, let's say the ID, the document with this ID does not exist, then what it will do is, since we said upsert true, then it will create a new document with this ID and then set the group for. Only it will set the group for, because it does not know any other attribute, so it will not say, it will not add any other attributes. Like for the other ones we have name and program, so it will only add the attribute which is available in the set option. So this way you can insert new document if they don't exist during the updation process. So the next step is to delete a record. So in order to delete a record, there are also 3 methods available. So similar to the insert, we have delete one. So remove the first document that matches the criteria. So for example, if we say students.delete one group 3, then the first document which will appear for this criteria will be deleted. So for example, let's say we have 4 people in the group, then what we'll do is that it will delete the first user who was added. Similarly, there is another method, delete many. This delete many will remove all the documents that fulfill the criteria. For example, delete many program ISE, it will remove all the students with the program ISE. Let's say if you want to remove the whole collection, you can just say dot delete many and empty criteria. So but you have to provide this curly braces to show that this is a criteria, and it should be empty, which indicates that there is no criteria, everything should be deleted. So using this you can empty your whole collection. There is another method available, dot remove, which is deprecated, which is not recommended to be used. So this method also do the same thing. So if you remove, it can remove either one or all the or multiple documents that matches the criteria. But there is also an option, you can specify just one to make it function as a delete one. So this way you can remove documents from your collection. And we also have a kind of endpoint for this. What we are doing is we are removing all the collection, all the items from the users collection. For example, I think I have this delete method. Let's just copy it here, save it. And now what we'll do is, for example, in this read, we have the list of all the users which has been added to the users collection. And now what we are going to do, let's localhost delete. So all names removed. So we applied this criteria, that collection dot delete many and empty criteria. So we deleted everything. So what it will do is, if we try to now read, so our collection is empty. Now we can insert new documents again. Let's say we re-execute this query and then we read it. Now we have a new user, only one user. So it's so simple to delete the documents or update the document or insert the document. As you can see, the amount of code that you need to insert, read, it's not that much. With this, we conclude our discussion upon the CRUD operations, and in the next video we are going to discuss in which form relationships are supported by MongoDB.